Hello Planet Coaster friends and welcome to episode 4 of building our medieval theme park here in Planet Coaster. In this episode I will be building a log flume which was requested by you guys, so thank you very much for that. And you'll see in the background that I have already started building the log flume station. So the station itself, I didn't want to bore you with trying to figure out the walls and the structure of how I wanted the shape of this building to be. So this is purely just going to be decorating, which I think is probably the most interesting part of how you take a shell and how you make that look a lot better. So I have cut out all the boring stuff. If you are interested in, how I come up with those kind of shapes, then let me know in the comments below. But I don't think anyone actually cares. So I think we're just kind of happy with the detailing, which, personally, I think that's the most important part. Anyway, so let's talk about this building, what it's for. Well, we know it's for the log flumes because I have obviously explained that. But the theming with this ride, it is supposed to be a medieval theme park. And I have went completely in utter Pirates of the Caribbean rogue off the cuff just because the pirate props in Planet Coaster are so much better than the fantasy kind of props. And I am here for it. I really like the pirate theme props and I think they're really good. And I have used them way too much, but in all honesty, they look fantastic. So this is kind of like a pirate theme ride and it kind of, works really well because obviously it's a log flume. So with the water and the pirates, it kind of just gels naturally together. So that is what we are building right now. So this is the station itself. We've already got the queue line in. And what you'll see is a lot of detailing, how to make the building look a lot better. And then I will be doing the queue path as well. So you'll see that in more detail as we go along. But this video has basically it all in it. We have got the station, we've got the queue line, I have got the outdoor area as well. Just when you come out of the exit, there's going to be two food facilities there, and then we go into the ride itself and do the interior of the ride, the interior of the ride station, and then we go to the outside and theme that up as well. So this episode is absolutely jam-packed, and it has taken me 2 weeks to create this episode. I have done a little bit of building on a Wednesday. We do a live stream here on YouTube, and if I am playing Planet Coaster, I will usually record what I am building and use that footage here as well. So there may be parts of this that you have already seen me build previously if you have come to a live stream, so I kind of apologize for that. But for those of you who are new to the channel or have didn't make it to the live stream, or maybe you didn't see the full live stream, then I have included that footage here for you to watch as well. So I really do hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not going anywhere for just now. That kind of felt like a enjoy the video and I'll see you in the next one. No, that wasn't a segue to goodbye. It was I just hope that you guys enjoy my content that I'm creating here, because I really do love Planet Coaster and I'm so excited for Planet Coaster 2, and you'll probably be sick to death with the amount of Planet Coaster that's coming up on your live feed, especially if you're a big fan of Frontier. A lot of people are going to be covering the game, and I've had a few comments about that as well of obviously people are covering it, and I've had a few comments about spamming and all this stuff, and that's just a natural thing as a content creator. I am not someone who will get paid to promote any of Frontier's games. I do work with Frontier. They have never paid me to promote any of their products, but I do obviously work with Frontier. But all of my opinions are completely my own, and I do genuinely love Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, and I will always play their games because, Frontier is such a fantastic company. But anyway, that's my love letter to Frontier and Planet Coaster. So I am really excited about Planet Coaster 2 coming out, and this park has really opened me up to all different possibilities of what we can create within that park. And honestly, my mind is like a little bit blown away by the gameplay that we've seen come out as well. And just, I think it's going to make building in parks so much faster, so much smoother. I mean, that path to it was just incredible. So yeah, really exciting things to come from Planet Coaster. And as I said, this park has really helped me kind of visualize what I want to create as well. Obviously, the themes are going to be slightly different, and you know, it's going to be water parks as well, rather than just purely a theme park. So that's exciting. But what I have realized is that I really work better when I restrict myself to the amount of space that I can build in. You'll notice that this park is not massive, and that is done on purpose because I feel extremely overwhelmed. I get really anxious and my anxiety goes a bit too crazy when there's too much stuff going on, and I think that's just, you know, my personality, and I get really overwhelmed. So having a really tight restricted area to build in really does help out me, and that's exactly what I'm going to be taking across to Planet Coaster 2 as well. I will still be building really tight knit parks, and I've already kind of thought about the themes that I want to create with Planet Coaster 2. But really, I just have to wait until I see all the building pieces, because as soon as you think of one idea, you know, your mind goes a little bit crazy and thinks of, you know, 10 million other ideas that you can create. But I also quite like the idea of being really restricted in what I'm creating. So I've seen this kind of trend with Planet Coaster. It's a 50 by 50 park, and I'm pretty sure that it was Mass Bandit who started that kind of thing, where you are really restricted to a certain size of park. And that's essentially what I've done with this park. I mean, this wasn't ever a 50 by 50 park. I can't even remember the dimensions of it. But I have never allowed myself to become overwhelmed with the masses of open space, because I've always restricted it to certain areas. So that's essentially what I'll be doing in Planet Coaster 2. But I am really excited for it to come out and play the game. And there's also the franchise mode that I would love to get more of the community involved in. Yeah, it's just going to be a really good game. But let's get back to Planet Coaster 1, because that's the game that we're currently playing in just now. So this section here is what I built on a live stream. So I built 2 buildings, and I was really kind of huffing about it. Like, I don't know if huffing is a word that translates into many languages or many cultures, but huffing is like when you're just not really, you're in a bit of a mood and you're being a bit of a child about it. But it was this building here. I started creating the shape of it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is going fine. And then I started putting the detailing on, and I really didn't like it. And there was a point of that live stream, I was like, delete it. Just, it looks rubbish. But actually, once you put lighting on this building itself, it actually looks really good. So again, I'm just learning so much about myself and my personality when it comes to building and, you know, creating content, because I'm just like you guys. I just want to create something that looks cool and share it with people. So there we go, that is the detailing done. And then we saw this little shield, and it was someone in the chat, I'm so sorry if you know, you were that person. I can't, you know, remember your username, but they were like, oh, put a shield on the burrito sign, and it just looked too big. And then I was like, we'll just put the little shield there. And it's a bit of a nod to the medieval theme that we were supposed to be building in, but it has turned into a bit of a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of style ride. So here we are now detailing the indoor section of the station, and I have thrown down every single, like I say, every single pirate part. Oh, and we're doing lights as well. I love doing lights in Planet Coaster. I honestly really do. I think it's fantastic. The thing with this is, I think I've done the station with the lights and have not done maybe the outside's been done as well. We'll do some POVs and we'll find out if that's true or not. If not, I'll probably have to jump back into game to put all the lights in. But yeah, the lighting in this game is so fantastic and I just love it. I really do. And it's one of those things that in Planet Zoo, you don't really do much lighting because zoos tend to close quite early unless they do like maybe a Christmas celebration or, you know, and plus the animals need a bit of time without you looking at them all the time. So yeah, really enjoy putting in the lighting. And then that pirate band, I have always wanted to put it in my parks. And I'm so glad that I have because it's now there. But this section here is literally just the pirate kind of built area. Kind of inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean, although I keep on having this kind of debate with myself about the budget of this park and, you know, would they have enough money to keep these animatronics running whilst keeping the water running and, you know, the park guests and all this stuff. And yeah, it's one of those things that I kind of really want to focus on, especially like going into Planet Coaster 2. And I know I've spoke about it briefly, but you know, the one thing that brings me absolute joy in these games is obviously the creativity of whatever you create, you know, can look absolutely fantastic. But also the story aspect of it, because I love creating stories. Like, it is probably one of my favourite things to do. And having a rhyme and a reason as to why things are built the way that they are. And I think a lot of content creators do this as well. Obviously, you have your different styles of parks and you have your different budgets of parks as well. And that's something that I really want to lean into because I started to do it with Planet Zoo. I started this series, and honestly, I think we got to episode 3 on it. And it was supposed to be a 12-part series of building a zoo, but it was supposed to be in 12 months. So it would be like, okay, we're in January. In January, these animals were introduced to the park. And I had this whole backlog story of characters, and I really miss that. I've missed that element of storytelling because I have seen so many like role-playing games, like people do it in Minecraft, and I'm like, why not do it in Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster? Especially because I really like it, and it might not be the most popular, as we say, possible thing. Of course, it's possible. It might not be the most popular series to follow along with the story of why things are going the way that they are, and I think it would be really interesting to have that storytelling, especially in a franchise park. Especially if you then suddenly hit bankruptcy and then you've got this narration of why it's happened, not because you've absolutely tanked the money, because you were just enjoying what you were building. But yeah, I really want to include that narration throughout my builds, and I'm not really doing it just now because I'm literally just talking whilst I'm building. I'm not really discussing what I'm building either. I mean, except from absolutely spamming the crap out of those bamboo things. Trees. A tree's a tree, my friend. But I think it's all kind of self-explanatory, what you see here. I'm not trying to make this a Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I'm literally just using the pieces that I never had any reference images. I was just putting them down where I thought it looked good, and that's kind of it. The bit here that I will talk about though is that the animatronic has this massive box underneath it, which is obviously realistic because it's where it gets its power from. But I had to hide that, so that's why you would have seen some little hidden bits here. And then this is basically just coming back into the station for the ride, and I just thought it'd be kind of cute to have like a little pirate village bit, kind of eases you into the building itself, because once you get into that building you are hit smack bang with all these props, and I just feel like that could be a little bit jarring for the the person on the ride. So it's a little bit of an ease until you get into the middle. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I so much appreciate you watching. If you have made it this far, can you please give this video a thumbs up? I would really appreciate it. And if you're feeling extra generous today, if you give me a water emoji in the comments below, I would sincerely appreciate it.